As we start getting older, we realize how important each one of the friends that we have in our life really are. But in today's video, I'm going to explain to you how the friends you have in your life right now actually may be preventing you from earning more money and living the life that you love. And I'm going to give you some practical steps that you can take to start changing your peer circle so that you can be more successful. Guys, I am so excited about today's video because it's one of the #1 ways that I've seen my life change over the past 5 or 6 years, and I know that this video is going to have an impact on you as well. Now, we're going to talk specifically about why your friends might be holding you back and keeping you broke and keeping you from living the life that you love and you're excited about. And of course, this isn't going to be true for everyone. You might have an amazing circle of friends right now. I hope you do. But if you don't, this video is for you, and there are going to be some practical tips a little bit later on in the video that will give you the steps that you need to actually change your friend group, change your peer circle, and really allow you to go to the next stage in your life. Now, let's talk about your friends currently. Let's talk about the friends that you may currently have in your life, the people who are speaking into your life, the people that you see all the time or talk to all the time. I would be willing to bet that they are friends that you've developed accidentally. Now, you might be saying, Jonathan, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by an accidental friendship? Well, these are friendships that you've developed just as you've been living life, right? Maybe there's someone that you met at school, or maybe there's someone who, a family friend knew and introduced you to, or maybe there's someone who has the same routine or schedule as you do. These habitual friendships, these accidental friendships happen to us all the time. And I think they're very wonderful. And there's an opportunity and a possibility that the friends you've developed in this way are awesome and incredible and will push you to the next level. But you need to be very careful and analyze whether the friends that you have right now fit your present or fit your future. And if you have big goals, if you have incredible goals for your life and you want to really go places and you want to earn more money and have big wins and accomplish a lot, you need to make sure that the voices that are speaking to you, whether they are on your phone, through media, right, the television, whoever is speaking into your life, family members certainly, and especially your friends, you need to make sure they are encouraging you and they are pushing you in the right direction, not discouraging you, not holding you back, and certainly not pushing you in a wrong direction. Let's think about it here. If you have a friendship with someone, and maybe it's based around work, you go to work with them, and then every time after work, you go and you maybe play golf together, or you get a beer together, or you do something fun, and then there's this common bond that's built. There's small talk that happens, bar talk that happens, right? You're building this relationship, you find similarities, and the relationship and the friendship deepens. But this entire relationship is built on the fact that you guys work together at your current job and that you enjoy getting beers together and talking shit, right? Now, if you don't want to stay at that job and you don't want to continue having the same beers with the same person and, maybe feeling like money's a little tight and dealing with all the same struggles that you currently have, those friends that are all in the same place, unless they're all trying to get out, unless they're all crabs in a bucket that are all trying to get out and they're trying to push for a new opportunities, and they're kind of trying to get their life to the next level, you likely are going to get a large amount of resistance when you share with them your dreams and aspirations for doing something a little different that they're doing. And the reason for this is very simple. The reason is because they like you. They enjoy hanging out with you. And when you tell them all these things that you're going to do to change your life and, take away the routine that you currently have, there might be some resistance to that. And they're going to do what all good friends would do, which is dissuade you from possible failure. And you don't need people like this in your life. Now, we're not going to talk today about how to, change the perspective that these folks have about you or how to handle haters or anything like that. We're not going to talk about that in this video. We can definitely make a different video about that. But we're going to talk about the practical tips that you can take to change the dynamic that you have in your life by changing who you have in your life from a friend and from a peer group standpoint. Now, point #1 for changing your friend group is really identifying what you want. Let's say you want to make $100,000 a year. You want to start hitting that 6-figure mark. Maybe you want to hit that 7-figure mark. Whatever it is, you need to start hanging out with people who are like-minded to that, right? Who are doing that, who are executing on that. And so you might be saying, well, I don't know what that looks like because I'm not there. You're absolutely right. You don't know how they think. You don't know what they're doing. But what you can do is see some of the things, some of the actions that they're taking, some of the circles they're running in, some of the environments that they are putting themselves, what they enjoy doing. And you can start emulating that and getting involved with those things. So that's point number one. Start doing those things that other like-minded people are doing. Now, a lot of you might be saying, well, boy, I don't have money to, take on all of these expensive hobbies. And that's what I see all the rich people in my world doing. The point here is not about spending a ton of money and buying yourself into some club. The point here is identifying where you want to go and how do you put yourself around people who are doing that? How do you put yourself around people that are living the life that you dream of? For example, I'm going to take a very silly example here. I've lived in California for over 15 years now, and I don't know how to surf. I've never been surfing, but let's say I want to surf. The first thing I should do is go to the beach. I should start hanging out with surfers. I should start checking out what surfers are interested in, what they're doing, where they're spending their time. And the more that I do that, the more I put myself in the environment, I'm increasing the chances that I meet more surfers and that I start learning more surfing lingo and that maybe I get invited to go surfing at a special, exclusive surf spot. Now here I'm starting to put myself in that world. Now point number two, when you're thinking about how do you meet more like-minded people and get more like-minded people in your circle, is to serve first. Let's go back to my surfing analogy. If I wanted to start surfing, I didn't know anything about surfing though. I didn't know where any of the hot spots were, any of that other stuff, but I wanted to start surfing. The best thing I can do is start serving surfers. Start serving people who are doing the thing that I want to do. And this could look a ton of different ways. For me personally, I know that I want to be around incredible business leaders. And so what I do is I run a podcast where I interview them and hopefully serve them by giving them exposure to a new audience that they did not have exposure to so far. Now let's just take a personal example. I want to be around incredible business leaders. And so what I do is I put myself around those incredible business leaders by having a podcast that interviews them and hopefully serves them by giving them exposure to a new audience group that may not have had exposure to their content before. That's a way that I can give first. I can advertise what they're doing. I can get excited and hyped about whatever they're doing and open up my community, even though it's limited, to what they're doing. That's a way that I can serve first. So this concept of serving first is super, super important because as a newcomer to any environment, you're going to want to come in and give first. Imagine coming over to someone's house or going over to a party or whatever. It's not good to come empty-handed, right? Well, think about this in the exact same way. When you're coming into a new environment, a new industry, a new peer group, you're going to want to give first. Come with something and bring something to the table. Now, the other interesting thing that I like, and I think this is a really practical point, is find the crossover with what you do now and what you want to do. Now, maybe there's an element where both things involve public speaking, or both things involve hospitality, or both things involve, some form of art or creativity. Find the similarity between what you're currently doing and where you want to go, and use that as your leverage point. Maybe start your service off there. Now, another little hack here is finding a way to serve the community in a way that no one else wants to. Find your entry point in that thing that people just are like, I don't want to do. Now, a little practical hack is find a way to serve in a way that the community is really going to appreciate. And a lot of times, this is doing the thing that no one else wants to do. There's always those jobs in every single industry that no one likes. And if you are willing to do that because you're so excited about getting in this industry, it's an incredible way to make a great impression on the people that you're trying to meet and the industry that you're trying to break into. Point number three is people have relationships with people that they have something in common with. Right? It's maybe how you form some of those accidental relationships that we were talking about in the beginning. And so as you're trying to develop a new friend group, it's important to understand and realize what this new friend group is interested in. What is the person that you're becoming interested in? What are the character traits that are appreciated? What are the activities that are consistently happening? And learn those things, right? If you're going into an environment where people play golf all the time, learn the game of golf. Go to the driving range, practice, find a cheap way to get in the game, read some golf books, and just start doing things that other golfers would enjoy or be into, and maybe start having some of those similar experiences that you can now share with your new group of friends. As they start seeing that, as you start engaging with more golfers, you're going to develop those relationships just based off the experiences that you have, and they're going to have similar experiences, and they are going to like you just based off of those commonalities. Now, point number 4 is really, really important. Point number 4 is people like confident people. And if you're sitting there right now thinking, oh my gosh, I am not confident at all, and now I'm going into a new environment with new people that I have no idea about, how am I ever going to be confident? Well, confidence comes from execution. Confidence comes from experience. Confidence comes from when you have something that you're able to bring to the table. And the past 3 steps, I just described that entire process. We talked about how you start revamping your friend group by, understanding what this new group of people is interested in and how you can serve first, how you can start being in the community by maybe doing something that, everyone else in this community doesn't want to do, right? There are all sorts of different ways where you can start getting in a new environment with new people who are really going to appreciate what you're bringing to the table. But they're going to love it when you're confident because you've already built up the execution of going out there and doing all of the little bits of work that have helped you slowly gain entry into this community of people or this industry, or to be recognized as a podcaster or a YouTuber or whatever the new identity you're trying to take on. Starting to execute, starting to have those little wins is a huge way to develop the confidence needed to actually exist in any space. And like I said before, people love confident people. People love the air and the energy that confident people exude. And you can get that very, very quickly just by giving yourself the opportunity to experience everything that this new industry has to offer. So I hope you've enjoyed the tips that are in today's video. If you have, I'd love for you to check out the other content that we have on this channel. We've got some incredible podcast guests that we have on our channel and some really cool other topics as well. So thanks for listening, and we'll see you in the next video.